Welcome to the Nintendo Power Zone. Guys, it's your boy, Nice1983, and I've got a little bit of news that broke within the hour. So, it's kind of the end of an era, and I say this with a deep sadness. Today, the official Sonic the Hedgehog Twitter announced that the Sonic the Hedgehog comic that's being published by Archie is ending its run after 24 years. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to read the official tweet. I'm going to also put it right here on the screen. After 24 years of memorable storytelling, Sega of America will conclude the Sonic the Hedgehog publishing program with Archie Comics. This does not mark the end of Sonic in comics, but signifies Sega of America's decision to take a different direction for the series that will be announced at a later date. Sega would like to thank Sonic's amazing fans for their loyalty and passion over all the years. Sega looks forward to providing more information soon. This comic was one of the last remaining vestiges of 90s Sonic, you know, the blue dude with attitude. It's kind of a bummer, it really is. This comic did something amazing. So there used to be a Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon that used to air on ABC's on Saturday mornings. The Sonic community refers to it lovingly as Sonic Sat AM, SAT-AM, and I loved this show. I really did. It was great. It really helped boost Sonic back in the day, and it's one of the reasons why Sonic's rise to popularity in America happened so quickly. You know, when the second game was coming out, this show was there to kind of like bridge a gap between the first and second game, and it really was an awesome TV show. That show lasted 2 seasons, and when it ended, that's when I personally discovered the comic book. Now, the comic book had been running for about a year or so, maybe even 2, when that show ended. But reading that comic was awesome because it was kind of like using exactly the same characters that appeared in that cartoon. So it was kind of continuing that story of that amazing cartoon, and to see it end after 24 years, it's like the last vestiges of 90s Sonic, and specifically that cartoon, are officially dead and gone. Now, there were some great characters to come out of both that comic and that TV show, and it's really just a major bummer. It's heartbreaking. I actually still read this comic to this day. I started reading it as a kid, and I never really put it down. I kept buying the issues. I kept supporting the book, even after the controversies. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, this is also kind of the reason why this comic is ending. Ken Penders was a writer on the Sonic comic for a while, and during his tenure on the book, you know, he created some characters, and he sued Archie Comics, Sega, and EA, saying that he owned these characters and he was entitled to have them and do with them as he so chose. Somehow, the paperwork at Archie Comics was lost, saying that Ken Penders was a work-for-hire writer, which basically means everything he wrote and all the things he created would be property of Archie and Sega. They lost this paperwork, and therefore they lost the lawsuit. Ken Penders had in fact created characters for, you know, the intent of putting them in the comic, but without Archie having the proper documents to prove this stuff, it all comes shambling down, and Ken Penders wins the legal case. So what does Archie Comics do? They reboot the Sonic universe and basically wipe every character that Ken Penders created for this book out of existence, and basically just run with the core characters that are from that original Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon and any characters that they created after the fact. By doing this, I mean, it really messed things up. It really hurt the book. There were some great characters that were created by Ken Penders that got to be in this book, and this whole universe just being, you know, scrapped because of one man's, you know, arrogance and his need to control things which he doesn't have a right to. I mean, either way, Ken Penner's won, and somewhere he's, smiling, laughing, having the last laugh in this situation. That being said, though, I will say there has been a huge decline in the way the Sonic book's been dealt with. It hasn't been very good for a while. And I kind of want to say that it hasn't been good probably since this whole issue with Ken Penders. I mean, they built a universe around these characters, and it was a great one. To see this book end after 24 years, it's heartbreaking. This is the longest running comic book that a video game character has ever had. 24 years is a milestone. Now, Sega has said that they said in the tweet that they want to go ahead and find a new publisher for Sonic, but the end of this specific universe is pretty official. I don't think any new publisher would pick up the story as is. It just doesn't really make sense, and it kind of blows. We're coming back to this era where Sonic is finally maybe getting on the right track as far as the video games are concerned, with games like Sonic Mania. It would be really nice if, we could start fresh with, the characters that we loved from that original comic book run and from that original TV show. That being said, like I said, I'm so twisted here. Because on the one hand, a reboot with a new publisher could be an amazing thing. They could make this book worth reading again. On the other hand, all these great characters just thrown to the wayside. Characters that I personally grew up with. And it just sucks. I want to say, though, that, this book really hit a milestone with the Endgame saga, which was the lead up to issue 50. One of the greatest comic books I've ever read in my life. And it came from Sonic the Hedgehog. It was really an amazing book, and I really wish all the people who worked on this book well. They had some great artists who worked on this book, like Pat Spaz, one of the best Sonic the Hedgehog artists to ever draw the character. He really was an amazing artist. He did some great covers for the book, and he continues to do covers for the book to this day. I really hope that people like Ian Flynn, who is currently writing the book, I kind of would like to see him get a chance to start with the new publisher, and continue on with Sonic the Hedgehog, because Sonic the Hedgehog is such a big part of his life. It's just a shame to see this book end, So, guys, we here at the Nintendo Power Zone, we want to wish all those people good luck with all their future endeavors. I've reached out to Tom Kalinske via Twitter to see what his personal thoughts on the matter are. If you guys remember, during the first year of the podcast run, I got a chance to interview the man Tom Kalinske, and his input and help with the creation of Sonic the Hedgehog and making Sonic the American icon that it is he played a huge role in that, and I would love to hear what he has to say. Therefore, once I read the news, I instantly reached out to him, hoping that I get a reply. Because Tom Kalinske, he's a great man, and with his involvement in the Sonic the Hedgehog series, I think it's interesting to get his opinion on basically the last 90s vestige of Sonic left. I mean, this was it. This was the last thing tying Sonic the Hedgehog to like the 90s, and it's ended. So, it's what it is. Guys, if you feel the way I feel, tweet at Ken Penders. Let him know that because of him, the universe as we know it has come to an end. It is kind of his fault. It really is. Now, I know there are a lot of people who would say, the creators do own the things that they create. It is of their mind. But at the same time, sometimes ownership of a product, it can kill what's best for that specific product. I mean, Ken Penders has taken those characters and made a new comic with the characters that he got to keep. that looks like hot ass. It really looks like hot ass. That's my personal opinion, but you guys can look it up. You can see what he's doing right now, and if you don't see that it's hot ass, then I can't help you. But like I said, guys, it's the end of an era as far as I'm concerned. I love this book, and I'm just really sad to see it go. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of your hair. I'm going to mourn, the loss of this book. But if you guys want, please like, comment, and subscribe. I want to hear what you guys' thoughts is on this book being canceled. Or, like, what are your memories of this book? Do you have any memories of this book? Did you grow up reading this book like I did? Are you a current reader of the book still? Let me know. Hit me up. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good shit. Anyway, guys, remember, you can hit me up on Twitter at nice1983. You can email me at nice1983@gmail.com. Hit me up on Facebook, facebook.com/NintendoPowerZone. If you're a fan of the podcast, you can download new episodes on iTunes, Google Play Music, stream new episodes on Stitcher Radio, but you can watch it right here on YouTube as well. youtube.com/user/thearticle, THAARTICLE. And, that's going to be it from me, guys. And as always, don't get cooked. Stay off the hook. Deuces.